A U.S. lawmaker recommends CAATSA waiver for India's S-400 purchases from Russia. The U.S. Congressman Ro Khanna has recommended a waiver for India from federal law CAATSA that provides for punitive actions against countries engaged in transactions with Russian defense and intelligence sectors. Now, Khanna, a Democratic congressman of Indian origin, acknowledged that India faces immediate needs to maintain its heavily Russian-built weapon system, and a waiver to sanctions under CAATSA is in best interest of the United States and its defense partnership with India.
I want to thank Chairman Smith for his extraordinary leadership in having a strong amendment to affirm the U.S.-India defense partnership. I want to thank Ranking Member Rogers for making this amendment truly bipartisan. There is no relationship of greater significance to the United States' strategic interests than the U.S.-India partnership. It is necessary to affirm democracies. It is necessary to stop China's border aggression. It's necessary for us to lead in critical technologies. This gives a sense that while we're building this relationship, we should not be sanctioning India under CAATSA, and it also will help facilitate the India getting more of their defense from the United States and not Russia.
All right, now I'm crossing over to our MEA correspondent Abhishek Jha to give us more details on this. Abhishek, a U.S. lawmaker has recommended a CAATSA waiver for India's S-400 purchases from Russia. But is this likely to go through because the West has continued to berate India for its relationship with Russia?
So, Aisha, there are three points that I would like to underline here. First, the CAATSA, which has been brought as a measure to counter American adversary through Sanctions Act, that anybody who's been not on the side of America will have to face CAATSA sanctions. India could be falling in that category as long as it is trading with Russia on important defense equipments or important business ties. That is the kind of concept that CAATSA is having, and that is the kind of threat that India is having under CAATSA. But as the Congressman Ro Khanna himself has said, that the kind of sanction that India will invite under CAATSA is not going to help American interests. In fact, India is trying to buy S-400 from Russia, which is going to be deployed in on its northern borders. That will be against China. So strategically, putting anything against buying such defense equipments that will not let India have a strong foothold along the borders against China, that will be detrimental to America's own interests, and this is what he has tried to convince his Congress. However, the amendment that Ro Khanna has brought in Congress is still a few steps before it could be enacted as a law. We know that it will be presented in Senate, where Democrats they do not have the majority. They have the 48 persons. They have 48 members, and the Republicans have 50 members. 2 members are independent. However, Kamala Harris, who is also the chair, who is the Speaker of the House, she also can vote in India's favor. But before the numbers can be discussed, we know that India has its friends on both factions of the political side in USA, Republicans and Democrats. So we can assume that when these amendments will be put through the Senate proceedings, one can assume that India will have support from both the side of benches, Republicans and Democrats, and the sanctions or the amendments that has been brought that will give India go ahead to buy or purchase defense equipments from Russia without inviting any sanctions from America will be passed easily. However, the U.S. congressman also pointed that while not stopping India from strengthening its own defense and military structure, USA should explore ways to how USA can supply more defense equipments to India and how the partnership can be strengthened, but not at the cost of India having to face a strong opponent like China in its neighborhood.
All right, Abhishek, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us all of those details on this latest development. Now, with this, we're heading into a very short break, but stay with us.